Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Cinnamon Stitches. I'm your yarn host Jennifer. I almost forgot my lines. Today's Thursday and Thursday is PYOW! In other words, it's the premiere yarn of the week. So, let's get started. This yarn, the reason I'm talking about this yarn in particular is because there was a question posed in the Facebook group. What is a good sock yarn that I can use? Premier Yarns Fruits, excellent choice. It makes excellent socks. You guys have seen I made banana socks and I bought the watermelon yarn with the intention of making watermelon socks, which I have not yet gotten around to, but rest assured, watermelon socks will be probably in the winter. I don't wear socks in the summertime anyway. I don't wear socks in the summer at all. I wear my chanclas, I wear my flip-flops, you know, so yeah. My J Cruisers, if you will. These are all nicknames for the type of sandal that I wear. Anyway, yeah, I don't wear socks in the summertime, but that made me think, okay, well, what yarn is good? What do I recommend? So I have a yarn that is in my PYOW box. And it has been on standby waiting for me to show you. I purchased this yarn when it first came out. It had to have been 2 years ago now at least. And it is the Cotton Collage. Now, I bought this yarn because at the time I was really into very thin shawls. I wanted to use #1 weight yarn, and at the time I was holding two together, so I would pick like a beautiful wild color and I would hold it together with like a solid, like a white or a black or a neutral, if you will. And I was making these gorgeous, just beautiful shawls, not dissimilar to this. This is not a premier yarn, so we're not going to talk about this today. However, we're going to talk about this because this makes beautiful, beautiful #1 weight shawls. However, you can also hold this together, and I know from experience because I've done quite a few shawls like this, you can hold this together with a solid colored yarn as well and make a beautiful shawl. It makes socks, and it makes cotton socks. So most of the socks we wear on our feet are either cotton or polyester or cotton polyester blends, much like most of the washcloths we buy from the stores are polyester at this point, but they used to be cotton. This is 46% cotton. Oh, this does have wool in it. I recommended it because I didn't think it had wool in it. It does have wool in it. This is not wool free. I erase everything I just said. Alright, so this is not wool free. This is not a good choice. I was incorrect. I thought this was a cotton and acrylic blend. However, if you want wool free socks, you can still go get the fruits. The fruit yarn is the Premier Fruits is a little ball this size. It is acrylic and PBT. So I'm incorrect. I correct myself. Cotton Collage is 46% cotton, 33% super fine or super wash fine merino wool, 12% polyamide, and 9% PBT. And the thing that I like about this yarn is the wild colors. I love the wild colors. Now, if you knit with it, let me turn my light down a little bit. If you knit with it, you get this beautiful effect. If you crochet with it, it comes out much, much differently. So what we're going to do today, this one's so pretty, is we're going to work up a little crochet swatch so that you guys can see what this looks like crocheted, because I don't have it in my hands to knit today. I don't have the ability. I'm working on a very large test product for a designer, and I'm very excited. I'm trying to get she doesn't want it done until September, but I'm trying to get it done so I can wear it for my birthday. And so I've been working really hard on it, and it's a new stitch to me because she invented the stitch, and my hands are hurting like really bad, so I cannot knit today. I cannot do a knit swatch, but I will absolutely do a crochet swatch. But this is what it looks like knit up. That's what your socks are going to look like if you make socks. I just think this is pretty yarn. It comes in, I probably should have looked this up before I turned the camera on. It comes in a couple different colors. And as always, Premier Yarns is saved on all of my devices. Cotton Collage. I spelled cotton wrong. Cotton Collage. I have the Premier Yarns website saved on my phone permanently, saved on my computer permanently, so I can click and open it really easily. There are patterns for socks made from this yarn on Premier's website. Free patterns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it comes in 5 colors. I have 3 of the colors here. You guys know I'm not a big fan of brown, but it comes in a brown multi. So that is the brown multi. This is sea multi, as in like ocean, sea. And I didn't get that one because there's brown in it. But the colors that I do have are Sunshine Multi. This is so pretty. Is that not gorgeous and colorful? And Party Multi. Party over here. It's a PYOW party. And finally, Circus Multi. Isn't that pretty? This one's my favorite, I think. And if I really look at them, they all kind of are my favorite. Because they're so colorful. You guys know I love color. Alright, now maybe that one's my favorite. It's going to change every 30 seconds. Which one's my favorite? Now, in the skein, this is a little tiny skein. It's a little tiny skein because this is meant to make socks. It is 246 yards. It's a 50-gram ball. This will make a pair of socks, like shorty socks. I don't really make tall socks because I don't wear tall socks because I'm fat. So, like, tall socks don't tend to fit my legs right. Because I don't have fat people ankles, but, like, I have thicker, like, calves. And so I don't like tall socks because they never fit right or they slouch down, and I like shorty socks. I also am really hot-blooded, and if I'm wearing socks, I want shorty socks that I can take off. This will make a pair of shorty socks, just one ball. I think this is $4.99. Is that what it said? Do you guys remember what the website said? $4.99. $4.99. Comes in 5 colors. I said that. It is a #1. But we know that because it's sock yarn. It's meant to do socks. However, I'm going to give you some different ideas for this, okay? Think outside of the sock box. Alright, I was looking through some of my patterns and some of the things that I've made. Now, I have said you can make beautiful fingering weight shawls, lace weight shawls. You can hold this 2 together and make, I don't know what weight that would be, like a #2 shawl. You can hold 3 together. Like, hold this with a solid and it just is so beautiful. It adds this beautiful detail to it. But if you don't want to make something big because it's going to take you forever with this thin yarn, you can make small things. You can make cute little headbands. You can make hats. And these make really good hats for people who are in weather that's not necessarily really cold. Like up north, you want a thick warm hat. Like where I live, I get hot really fast. I said this. I like thin hats. I really like thin hats. It'll keep the wind out of my ears, but it doesn't make me like too hot. Obviously, you can make socks with this. My hairnet pattern, the snood pattern, which I will link below, you can make with this yarn. You can make little hair wraps and accessories. You can make bags with this, kind of like my watermelon bag. And yes, I am working on a crochet version of the watermelon bag. Hopefully we can get that up next week. We're just trying to play everything by ear right now because, you know, life. Anyway, it just got really dark outside. I think it's going to storm. It's been raining and storming like crazy lately. Anyway, so let's go down to the table. And I will work up a quick little crochet swatch for you guys so you guys can see. I'm still deciding on which one of those colors I want to use. And I have to find a small enough hook. This recommends a 3.75 millimeter hook. And I don't know if I have. I do have one. I gotta find it. It's gonna be a little stick aluminum one because I don't have the acrylic hooks or like the furls hooks in those small sizes. I only have it in the stick sizes because, well, I might have a boy with a rubbery handle because I really don't think I can grip a small stick hand or a stick crochet hook today. Let me find a hook. We'll go down to the table. I'll work up a swatch. We'll talk about how we feel about the yarn. I'm going to say this, in the skein like this, it's not soft. It's not scratchy, itchy, but it's not soft to the touch at all. And I lotioned up really good because I just got out of the shower, so I needed to lotion up. But yeah, it's not real soft, but it's not meant to be. It's meant to be a durable yarn. So with that, and I know that I'm going to get asked, what the heck is PBT? Okay, the 9% PBT that's in here, because like I said, it's 46% cotton, 33% superwash, 12% polyamide, 9% PBT. The PBT is meant to make this a sturdier yarn for like socks and long wear stuff. This would make a beautiful sweater. PBT, it's just meant to add strength. So it is something to add strength. I don't remember what the actual chemical name for PBT is, but like it's meant to add strength, so that's why they added in there. And that also, PBT is also in the fruits yarn, so it's PBT and acrylic. So yeah, there you go. Let's go to the table. All right, so I'm gonna give you fair warning. The overhead camera mount that I'm currently using is garbage. So if my camera starts to drift like this, which it is known to do, I do apologize. I'm in the process of trying to research to order a new overhead arm because this one is driving me nuts right now. So, found my hook. This is just a boy hook that I got from Walmart clearanced out. It's 3.75 millimeter hook, which is what this yarn recommends. And I'm deciding between these two because these two are so pretty. Which one I want to, I'm going to work this one. This one is the Sunshine Multi. I have multiples of these because, like I said, I purchased these with the intention of making shawls. And now that I know how to knit, I kind of want to make, I kind of want to make socks. But I don't know what I'm going to make out of this. And I think maybe me pulling out a big giant yarn barf might be a problem. Now, I was told to do this. And then you can grab the center much easier. Let's see if that will actually help. I don't like doing this because I don't like having to try to squeeze that ball band back in. I think I already messed it up. All right. Yarn barf extraordinaire. That's what we're good at. So now I still got to find the center. How many pulls does it take to get to the center of a yarn ball? 1, 2, 3. That's a Tootsie Roll commercial. Tootsie Pop. If you guys don't know, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop? The owl licks it 3 times and bites it. This is a hot mess. This is a hot mess. You guys like watching me fumble and pull the yarn apart? Alright. You know what we're going to do? We're going to break it. I ain't got time for all that. So, as you can tell by this, there are lots of colors in there. And I'm trying to decide what kind of swatch I want to make with this. Because I could do a square, but I could start a triangle and then I could eventually finish it into a do-rag or a handkerchief for my hair. 2, 3, 4. This feels very tiny in my hand because I'm working with a much bigger yarn in the other room. Now, like I said, you can, yeah, I don't think I want to make a triangle. I think we're going to make just a regular old swatch. Maybe put some different stitches in there. because I'm already fumbling, because this is not my favorite hook to use. Oh, look at that. It changes color like quick. You guys see that? I should put you in a little closer. I really like the way the colors look. This reminds me of fruit stripe gum. There's a little bit of a stretchiness to it, to where it bounces. I'm gonna start with half double crochets. Now, unless you're used to working with really thin yarn, this is probably going to be a struggle for you. But this looks so beautiful. Oops, I slid out of my hoops. This looks so beautiful worked up. And I believe that I have solid. Okay. This hook is giving me problems, but it's the only hook I have of this size. I think I'm going to work up a swatch. Good Lord. And the yarn is not slippery, so it's clearly a problem with this hook. And probably my grip. Not even on camera. That's my fault. I'm trying to see around the camera and still have you guys close enough that you can see the arm that I'm looking for replacing this arm with, because I'm filming this with my phone. This arm holds my phone, but it does not hold my camera because my camera is heavy. And so the arm that goes overhead like this, that I'm looking into purchasing, that I'm researching on, is going to hold my bigger camera. So hopefully we don't gotta mess with this phone anymore. We don't have to. We can have the camera up high enough that it really is not going to interfere with my line of sight. And I really need my glasses. I'm having a bad eyeglass day today. I have had to wear my glasses for the past several days because I'm getting headaches. And that is contributing to my crocheting skills being poor today. So I do apologize. I feel like I'm not doing this yarn justice, just because of my current issues with my hands and my eyeballs. One way to make you feel older is to not be able to see or grab things properly. I was due to go to a eye doctor appointment a few months ago, like I think a month or two ago, and I got sick, and the rule of the eye doctor was if you have any symptoms, you could not come in. And so I had to cancel my appointment because I was sick. I was coughing and had like all kinds of allergy issues. And so my eyeglasses desperately need to be upgraded. So right now I've just been wearing readers because I can't see with my regular eyeglasses. And I'm struggling to see this. I probably should have picked a big old fat yarn for today. I have other yarns. I am on the docket coming up soon is, I have a list of yarns I want to use. I don't remember if I showed you guys the medley, the Premier Medley. I love the Premier Medley. It is so soft. I have a couple of different bamboo blends. I know that I showed the Bamboo Fair, but I showed the Bamboo Joy, and then there's another bamboo blend that is really nice. So I have other yarns on the docket. I also want to make the watermelon bag. I think that's going to be part of PYOW. Big old chunk of skin hanging off my hand. I think we're going to do the watermelon bag tutorial, the crochet version, as a tutorial next week. That's what I'm aiming for. That's what I'm hoping for, but next couple weeks are gonna be insane until the kids are back at school. We're just doing the countdown now. Goodness gracious. This is really pretty. Like, I like the way it colored works up. If I can get, I can't even see the, I can't see the chain. I really like the way this color looks. 1, 2, 3, turn. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Oh, I could see. Now, the fact that this has wool in it would kind of deter me from making baby stuff, but like at the same time, like this would be such a cute baby sweater. You know? I'm gonna do granny stitch in this row. Just to see what it looks like in different stitches. Like I said, this is not the softest yarn, but it is meant for socks. But worked up, it doesn't feel rough and woolly like you would think it does. Like it feels nice. It almost feel, I mean, you could definitely feel the cotton in there, and I think the cotton is the predominant feel that I feel in there. So if you don't like cotton, you're probably not gonna like this yarn. I like the way it feels. I love cotton. I just think this would make beautiful like clothes. Shawl, scarf, ponchito, sweater. I'm really thinking this would be so cute with a baby sweater. I'll have to check their website because I know that their website has patterns for this yarn. I know for a fact they have crocheted sock pattern. Now, if you want to make crocheted socks, they have a crocheted sock pattern for this yarn. I'm almost positive of that. If they don't have the crocheted sock pattern for this yarn, they have it for the fruit yarn, and you could use this yarn instead of the fruit yarn if you wanted. Now, crochet does not allow this yarn to stretch as much, but I showed you there's a little bit of stretch in it anyway. I really like the colors of this. You're not, it almost gives it like a hand-dyed effect, like because the color is so all over the place. Now, of course, if you're knitting with this, you're gonna get that very even colored look. I'll show you the label again. It's not even so much even. But you see how it almost stripes itself? But because we're crocheting with it, it takes up more of the yarn, and it gives this really cool, just like, I don't even know what you would call that effect. It looks like it's a hand-painted yarn. It's going to be so funky. I love funky. Because I didn't count my stitches. I have one too many stitches down on this end, but we're going to just fudge it and pretend we didn't see that. 1, 2, and 3. Pull out some more yarn. My goal is to get to that blue section right there, because I think that's really pretty. If I can untangle it enough. All right, there. Now, like I said, because this is a thin yarn, not everybody is going to want to work up this swatch, because they're not going to want to take the time to work up with this really thin yarn. So if you don't like really thin yarn, if you can't work with really thin yarn, try holding this double with something else. Even if you took and held this double with like a 3-weight, the colors are going to show up. And I'm going to totally, when I'm done with this little tiny swatch, I'm going to hold this double so you guys can see what I'm talking about. And I'm going to add some effect. Because it's easy for me to say, like, it looks cool. But unless I show you how cool it actually looks, I'm just going to have to pause and go find I think I have white. I'm almost positive I have a thin white yarn. I believe I got some sock yarn from Scrap RVA, I think. And so I think that I can hold that together with this and give you guys a really good idea what that's going to look like. Oh, this looks so cool now. See, now I want to start a new project, and I do not have the time to start a new project. Sometimes you just kind of fall in love with the yarn. Ah, we got to the blue. This color is so pretty. I'm glad I picked this skein. What did I say this one was called? Sunshine? Sunshine motif. I got sunshine on a cloudy day. My dad used to sing that song all the time when I was little. He loved Motown. Look at that. It's feeling very hippie to me. Feeling like Flower Child. My hair's falling out. I just like the way that looks. Now, someone asked me when I do granny stitch, do I add a chain 1 space in between the stitches or not? And the answer is yes and no. It depends on what I'm making and what my mood is for the day. Sometimes I add a chain 1 space and sometimes I don't. And because of that, sometimes I will put the project down and walk away from it for an hour and come back and not remember if I put the chain 1 space in between or not. So there is no right or wrong. There's not. If you add the chain 1 space, the spaces in between the granny clusters will just be like slightly bigger. The hole will be a little bit bigger. But it doesn't really matter. It's all about your preference. This is so pretty. You want to make something that looks like it's scrappy and it's not actually scrappy. Use a yarn like this. I'm going to finish this row and then I'm going to pause and I'm going to grab the white yarn. And I'm going to hold those two together so you guys can get an idea of what the heck I'm talking about. I wish I could stop sliding out of the yarn. It's this hook. I know it's this hook. The only closest hook I have to this is a 4mm and it's in a project bag in the living room with a project in it. One or two and three. All right, I'll be right back with some solid colored yarn. Oh, that's so cute. All right, that only took me a second. It was like right there out of reach. So, once upon a time, Premier used to carry this almost identical to this yarn. It was it was called Wool Free Sock. And I think they discontinued it because I have not seen it in a very long time. I'm just trying to untangle this bit right here. It's untangling pretty easily. And I have at times found the Wool Free Sock at thrift stores and other places. And when I buy the white Wool Free Sock or the black Wool Free Sock, oftentimes I will do something very similar to what I'm going to show you here. You just hold them like you're going to hold your regular yarn. I'm going to actually come back and rework this last stitch. But I'm going to finish the stitch with the 2 yarns held together. I'm going to chain 3. All right, now I'm just going to hold the 2 together, and I'm going to crochet with them as if they are 1 yarn. So and this makes it feel more like it's a DK weight. You can still see the colors in there. If anything, it mutes the colors a little bit. And as you can see, this is a much lighter section of the yarn. So it's going to look drastically lighter than the last row because that was like the darkest section of the ball. This makes it feel so much more substantial when you're holding these 2 together. And actually, I could probably use a bigger hook now that I'm doing this. I say all the time, if you are going to use a yarn and it's not working out quite for you and you're struggling with it, like I was struggling, change your hooks. Most of the times, more often than not, it's not the yarn, it's the hook yarn combination that's giving you a problem. If you're slipping out of your stitches too much, use like a wooden hook. If it's snagging too much, go to a more slicker hook. The thing I have the most problem with crochet hooks is this part right here. Because the way I turn and pull through, a lot of times this part right here gets caught in my stitches here, and that's where I fight it the most. So that is most often my biggest issue. That part right there. And now I learned how to crochet on boy. These are my first set of hooks that I ever purchased. They were clearanced out. And I loved them until I tried a different hook. And now I don't like them anymore. And I totally have a knot there. What the heck? Oh well, we're going to pretend it's not there. This is just a sample. It's not like we're making anything special. Now, using the 2 held together, this obviously is a thicker yarn. So our stitches are definitely thicker and fatter, even though we're using the same hook. And our swatch is going to go out more, which normally I would switch to a bigger hook, but it's all good. This is just a swatch. And it mutes the color slightly, but you can still see what's going on in there. I mean, isn't that cute? It's so cute. I'm going to do a couple rows of this so you guys can get an idea. Because the color is changing beneath. Oops. This yarn keeps folding over on itself and knotting. I feel like I'm finally in the zone. I feel like I'm finally in the zone and I'm not fighting it so much. And this is one of my favorite ways to make a lightweight shawl. Now, right now, the fabric is a little bit stiff because I'm using the recommended hook for just it held by itself. But if I went up to like a 5mm hook, which is what I probably would use, this is still going to give you just beautiful drape. Just amazing drape. But because I'm using a smaller hook, it's going to be a little bit more dense. Just fine. Shoot, I almost could see you making like cute little amigurumis out of this because it's so colorful. I'm telling you. And if the solid, if it by itself is a little too wild for some people, which I can see that it could be, it's not for me. It's like my cup of tea all day long. Holding it together with the white mutes it a little bit so it's not so over the top, but it's still very colorful. I think I'm going to do one more row. I think. Sometimes I get doing these patterns and I get so into it and I'm enjoying it so much that I forget to stop the swatch. 2, 3, turn. I think it's so pretty. Oop, hang on. I messed up right there. I messed up. Supposed to put 3 double crochets. I only put 1. What happens when you talk and crochet at the same time? Oh, I have story time for you guys, okay? While we're sitting here crocheting. I got 2 posts in the Facebook group the other day. And one of them was a picture of a lady and her cat was in front of the screen watching Cinnamon Stitches videos. Which made me laugh. My dogs, neither one of my dogs have ever been any interest in any kind of technology. They don't even react when I have dogs on my phone or something. Like, they just don't care. So I think it's so funny to see a cat do that. Well, the second post that day was a mom. She's got a little tiny baby, and the baby was fussing, and she said that she can turn on a Cinnamon Stitches video and walk out of the room for a minute and put the baby down, which we know when babies are tiny, they are very demanding, and I know exactly how important that calming voice can be for a baby and how important it is for the mom to have like 2 seconds where she's not holding the baby. So that kind of like, it really did touch me. So I volunteered to be the baby's Aunt Jenny because, you know, all my nieces really adore me. Anyway, I showed the post to Mr. Cinnamon. I was like, I'm Lori Berkner. And he thought I was nuts. Lori Berkner is a children's singer, songwriter, performer. She's been around since my niece, who is 18, was a baby. She's actually been around longer than that, but that's when we discovered her, is when Pumpkin Spice was a baby. And all of the girls, all 3 of the girls, my 2 nieces and my daughter Juju, would dance around to We Are the Dinosaurs, to, I mean, they just loved Lori Berkner. They loved Lori Berkner. We Are the Dinosaurs, Victor Vito. What was the other song that they really liked? The Fishes. Well, man, I got a big old tangle. I'm trying to get this out. When they were little, like Lori Berkner would calm them down in the car. Lori Berkner has still hits the radio stations when my youngest nieces, ages 4 and 6 months, are in the car. Because Lori Berkner, little kids just love Lori Berkner. Lori Berkner is like little child crack, I swear. So anyway, little man liked Lori Berkner. I'm not gonna be able to crochet very far. This is a huge mess. Little man still likes Lori Berkner at 7, almost 8 years old. But she's not, I mean, when he was a baby, he didn't sleep. I mean, he did not sleep at all. I had a period for 9 days where neither one of us slept. For 9 straight days, we were up every hour. On the hour, we would nurse for maybe 30 minutes. He'd go back to sleep. He'd wake back up at the next hour. It was 9 days straight to where I felt like I was like hallucinating at that point. I mean, neither one of us were okay. And the only thing that would help him sleep was Luther Vandross. Okay? Not Lori Berkner, Luther Vandross. Okay? One specific song in particular, Here and Now. So we would play Luther Vandross Here and Now over and over again for him. But as he grew, like it was Lori Berkner. Well, Lori Berkner has been on our radio station for 18 years. Because Lori Berkner is that silent voice, or the voice that silenced the babies, the children. And so to just think that my voice did that for a baby, it touched me so much. I don't think we're going to be able to go much further. I can't pull in, no matter how hard I cannot get even the yarn barf to release. This thing is a hot mess. I'm going to have to cake it. I'm going to have to get, and it's knotted right here. Got that part. All right, we finished the row. I thought I was going to be able to do another row after this. I'm not. I'm going to have to disconnect that. That is terrible. So anyway, that was my quick little story time about Lori Berkner. I am Lori Berkner. And then I no sooner said that and that happened. And then Hannah from the Cozy Cottage Crochet, she posted a picture of her daughter listening to We Are the Dinosaurs from Lori Berkner. And I just had to laugh. Because I'm telling you, Lori Berkner is like, she's magic. She's just absolute magic. Okay, so here's our swatch. This bottom half is just the straight cotton collage, which is very rainbowy and pretty and beautiful all by itself. But if you just cannot work with a number 1 yarn, hold it together with a number 1 yarn, another number 1 yarn, and you have this beautiful effect, which is just as beautiful, but it's a little bit easier to work with. And you could hold that with black, it will be just as beautiful. You can hold it with gray, you can hold it with any color really. So yeah, that's my review of Cotton Collage. I really like the yarn. I think it's fun to play with. And there are so many things you could do with this yarn. Like I tried to name a few. I have quite a few patterns that you could make with this yarn. If you want to make something small, like a headband or something, you can. You want to make socks, you can. Anything that could go in your hair. Head wrap. A handkerchief. A beautiful shawl. A scarf. A cowl. Hats. I can't think of anything you couldn't make with this yarn. It's nice, it's durable, it's pretty, and once it's worked up, it doesn't feel like working it up. It's a little bit, it's not soft, it's not silky, but it's not meant to be. It's a cotton yarn. It may cause problems, real talk. It may cause problems if you have dry skin. It may cause your skin to crack. It doesn't bother me enough that I'm not going to use it. And I think it's just so pretty. I think it's so pretty. Alright guys, thank you for tuning in to another episode of PYOW! And I will see you hopefully tomorrow with my Premier Yarns package that I ordered. We have to wait and see if it comes in tomorrow or not. If not, I don't know what's going to happen Friday. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.